Hi there friends, so today I'm going to be showing you how I made my cow plant from The Sims. The head base itself is from Black Print Creation on Etsy, which is very useful because I don't know how to make head bases. They're very complicated. But the mouth opens and closes. The way that I went about deciding to make this head kind of went something like this. So yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into the tutorial. All right, disclaimer, do not look at my basement floor. It flooded and we had to rip up the carpet. It looks very tragic, but we did fix the water issue and we're not putting any new flooring in until later. Anyway, like I said, starting with this cow head base from Black Print Creation on Etsy, I added elastic straps and padded the inside with foam until it fit my head perfectly. So to make the fur pattern, I wrapped the entire head in duct tape. If the design had been symmetrical, I could have gotten away with just taping half of it, but because it doesn't have symmetrical spots, I went ahead and just taped the full thing. I used small strips to avoid wrinkles. I also propped the mouth open so it could still open and close once I furred it. Then I marked out the seams, the black spots, and the fur direction. It's always very important when you're furring a head that you mark the fur direction. I sliced the tape off with a blade, gently, very gently, and then I created my pattern pieces. So I did forget to flip the pattern. The black spots are actually on the wrong sides. Oops, did not mean to do that. But she's still very cute. But learn from me, make sure you flip your patterns if your costume piece calls for that. So to cut the fur out of the patterns, I traced the pattern onto my fur. I made sure the fur direction was right. And I actually ended up skipping seam allowance on this because I am hand stitching everything together. Then I cut all the pieces in a big circle to give it a preliminary shave before cutting out the individual pieces. I hand stitched it all using a blanket stitch. After stitching everything, I glued the face skin onto the head with hot glue, aka my life's blood, and I shaved her down until she looked a little bit yes yeti and more adorable plant monster. I ordered sublimated fursuit eyes from FurryDreamLab on Etsy. They're crystal clear to see through and honestly they're so gorgeous. I chose to give her green eyes instead of just the mesh and the sockets, kind of like they look in The Sims. This is just an artistic choice and I think the green matches her leaves perfectly. I can go back in later and just put mesh over the eye sockets to kind of mimic the actual cow plants from The Sims, but I think I like her having eyes. It gives her a different look. Cow plants have pink nostrils, so I used pink felt, cut out the nostril shapes, and I hot glued them on. The mouth interior is pretty intricate, so I sewed 2 pieces of fleece together and then I airbrushed the ridges for some drama. And then I hot glued it in to be the gums for the teeths. I finished the mouth with some black felt that I hot glued around the edges. Leave it to me. Get it? Do you see what I did there? Was that funny? For the leaves, I used 2mm EVA foam from TheFoamory, my fave foam supplier. I heated the foam to pre-shrink it and close the pores. Then I made a bunch of different sized leaf patterns. After cutting them out, I hit them with the heat gun again to flatten them. And yes, I did bend them to look like those crunchy fall leaves that everybody loves stepping on. I filled the backs with Quick Seal, which is actually a plumbing caulk, but I use it to fix some little foam mistakes. Then I hit all of the leaves with Plasti Dip, which makes them perfect for painting. I painted them all green by hand, and then I added some shadows and highlights with my airbrush. Finally, I glued them on to the head with my hot glue gun, because when in doubt, hot glue it! The horns were made from 4 layers of 8mm EVA foam that I glued into a block and then I just sanded into shape. And as usual, I was covered in foam dust afterwards. Make sure you wear a mask when you do this. For the teeth, Same foam. I used 8mm foam. I cut them into triangles and then I sanded them down until they were dangerously pointy. Then I plasti dipped them and painted them off-white, and I airbrushed some shading. Everything got hot glued onto the head base itself. You know, I had to make the iconic cowplant cake. I used 6mm EVA foam. I glued it into a cake shape and made a pattern with seam allowance. I added seam allowance this time because I will be machine sewing the fabric cover. For the sides, I used white fleece with pink strips. With some pink strips sewn in for that layer cake look. Can I like speak properly? Is that possible? For sprinkles, I sewed on some cute little beads. They're very adorable, deadly, and delicious. I stuffed the foam cake inside the fleece casing, stitched it closed, and added a little ruffle on top because she deserves some fun. She deserves some fancy little ruffles. The tongue was made from 12-gauge steel wire wrapped in pink fleece. It has Velcro on the back that attaches inside the mouth, so it can be removed, which is super awesome, but I love having the tongue in place, so I don't think I will ever walk around without it because I just think the tongue is so cool. I airbrushed the ridges to give it a little extra dimension. And now for the chin udder. The chin udder. What is this? Oh! I sewed 2 fleece circles together and then I made the little like udder things. The nipples? So can I say that? From pink fleece and I stuffed it with polyfill. And then I hot glued it under her chin like some sort of cursed nipple beard. It's so weird, but I do love this. And then finally, I made some eyelids and some lashes because y'all know I'm very extra. I love sparkles. It has glitter on it, and I love lashes on fursuits. It's 10 out of 10. To do this, I taped over the eyes, I drew a pattern, and then I transferred it to a glittery black felt. For the lashes, I used white EVA foam. These are permanent, unlike my other heads that have Velcro eyelids. I just did not feel like getting the Velcro out, honestly. I glued them straight to the head. So, final thoughts. She is leafy. She's terrifying. She's very beautiful. Honestly, I think this might be my favorite head that I've ever made. She is just, she's so fun. And I played The Sims for a very long time back in my day. So yeah, that's pretty much how I made her. She definitely will lure someone into their doom, and she's gonna look fabulous while doing it. She's adorable. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was entertaining, at least. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you like costuming and making stuff, then feel free to do with that what you will. And I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye. I tried to like wave, but at the same time I was like, I'm a disaster. Woo.